It was a little after 3:30 a.m. Connor was approaching Yonders at high speed, but he didn't know that the signalman had forgotten to change the points. Soon Connor's headlight hit the incorrect switch.
What the? Stop!
Connor's driver applied the brakes hard. They screeched and Connor slid over the crossover right onto Larry's line. Luckily he came to a halt, but he was at least a quarter of a mile past the crossover. His train was blocking it. All that Connor could do now was to pull back over the crossover and then continue on from there. His engineer released the brakes and Connor began to back up slowly. But then, the sound of an approaching whistle made Connor and his crew realize that their worst nightmare was upon them. Connor opened up his throttle as wide as he could and then tried to get over to the crossover, but his wheels began to slip.
No. Come on. Sand. More sand.
Finally, Connor's wheels slowly began to turn and he began to back up. Meanwhile, Larry was still flying at high speed. He had ignored the red signal, thinking that the turn switch for Connor was the cause, but soon a light began to flicker in the distance.
What is this?
But before Larry could finish his sentence, the sound of a whistle interrupted him. Larry soon realized it was the whistle code for emergency.
Holy Jesus, brakes! Apply the brakes! Connor overshot brakes!
Larry's brakes were immediately applied, and the sound of brakes, pistons, and whistles filled the air. Connor was almost clear, but almost doesn't help on the railroad. Larry reversed his cutoff and opened up his throttle wide, hoping that the extra force would stop him in time. But it was no use. The engines got closer and closer until Larry collided with Connor.
Look what you've done. How are we supposed to get moving now? I don't know. I thought you said you had better vision. You overshot your twits. At least I'm not backward.
Just then, Larry's brakeman came in to interrupt the fight.
Guys, here's the deal. When you guys collided, the force of the impact broke both of your cutoffs. Due to this, you're not going anywhere but backwards. The trains are fine, but we're gonna need more power. We're calling Fort Fairfax and Lakehurst right now so we can get some assistance.
Don't bother calling Fort Fairfax. All the engines are busy elsewhere. You're stranded. Big Max is at Lakehurst. He can help me.
Well, that's up to him when he gets here.
He'll obviously choose me. If that fruit spoils, then Union Pacific will be in big trouble. Why? You were supposed to be pulling it. Correction. You were supposed to be pulling that, but the schedule changed. Plus the switches were incorrect on your trackage. Well, this fuel train here, it's important. Yeah, it needs to go to Heat Homes, but that can wait an hour. Correction. Part of it is going to the power plant. The rest is going right to your friends' fuel tanks and tenders. Well, we are stuck here with a predicament. Yeah, the one you caused. Liar, you overshot and hit me. Well, backwards. Oh yeah, real mature. Don't have to combat backwards. I could throw something at you, your boiler would spin. Seems yours has already. You know the reason for my cab being forward? It's my name. Backwards! No, you're the one forward comebacks.
For the rest of the hour, the two engines fought and fought, but finally Big Mac showed up. Of course, his presence didn't stop the fight, so he had to use his only method.
Jeez, Big Max. I think you busted away my valves with that horn.
Sorry, so who am I taking?
Me. My fruit train needs to get to Lakehurst to be refrigerated. Hello? Fuel train?
Guys, just be happy you're going anywhere. Now, let me think.
Yes, challenger, or should I say failure. Give the diesel a chance. Failure? I'll fail you.
Shut up, I'm thinking.
Quiet. Whenever Connor tries, I'll bust the boiler. I'm going to get you.
Connor tried to move forward to ram Larry, but he just kept on banging his train.
Stupid broken cutoff. I want to go forward, not back.
And this was getting Big Mac irritated.
Connor, I'm going to hit you so hard that... Wait a minute. That's it.
Made a decision?
Even better.
Big Mac pulled forward and then coupled up behind Larry's train.
Looks like you made the right choice.
But Larry was wrong. Big Mac wasn't finished yet. He had a plan, but he had to work quickly so that way he can get the main line cleared up. After a half an hour of switching, Big Mac was finally done.
What was the point of that?
Yeah, now we just switch places.
Yeah, you two are also coupled on backward.
Except for Larry, he's coupled on forward.
Shut up. If you two backwards, you can pull the trains now.
You know, he's right.
Yeah, Big Max, I think this route is spoiling. Pull me.
The point is that you can pull yourself.
Yeah, and your point is to pull one of us.
Fine. Larry, after I pull Connor out of your way, you should be able to continue on. If you need help, feel free to call.
No worries, I can do it. Let's get that fruit moving.
Yes, sir. Come on, Connor.
Big Mac coupled onto Connor and quickly pulled the fruit train towards Lake Hurst. Larry, once he had the all clear, eyeballed it back to Fort Fairfax. Both trains arrived on time, and both Larry and Connor were soon sent off to be repaired. 3 weeks later, the snow finally melted. It was springtime. The birds were chirping, the flowers were blooming, yada yada blah blah blah. Back to the trains. Larry was resting after pulling his first freight train in a long time. Connor had just arrived with his train too, and he pulled up to talk to Larry.
Oh, hello, Connor. Here to taunt me?
No, I came to apologize to you, Larry. I realize that engines all have different views.
Well, I accept your apology. Hey, so, what made you change your mind?
Oots threatened me and pushed me off a cliff.
You're a funny, Connor.
No, literally. Oots threatened me and pushed me off a cliff. But with some advice from Dylan, I understood. So, friends?
Friends. So, tell me about this Dylan character. Who's he?
Larry and Connor talked all afternoon, and from then on, they became best friends. But little did they know that Luke and Jimmy were watching. See, Jimmy? After going through about 5 episodes, can't you learn to like other railroads?
What are the railroads?
Jimmy? Ignoring the problem won't help.
Wait a sec, we have a problem going on here?
Do I have to push you off a cliff?
Do we even have a cliff?
Alright, that's it. You probably got into the diesel fuel again. I'm taking you to the works. Don't try and stop me. Alright. So while Luke pulls the delusional Jimmy to have his boiler flushed, again another chapter of the Rail Wars close. But as many people say, you may have won the battle, but the war had just begun.